Welcome back to the channel, and this week we're going to be discussing President the band and how, whether you love them or hate them, it's an absolute music marketing masterclass. So this is the first in what will become a series of videos looking more at the business side of music. So I already put out quite a few videos on my Instagram channel as reels giving tips for bands both on the live circuit and on the business side. But obviously with Instagram, TikTok Reels, it's got to be very, very condensed, fast-paced videos that grab attention. Whereas what we can do on here is do a much more in-depth video, go into much more detail, and hopefully provide much more help. Who am I to give you tips? Brilliant question. I've been in the music industry for many, many years now, both as a player, a tech, and on the music management side as well. And in all those years, it is inevitable that you pick up a lot of experience and knowledge. And it's that knowledge that I hope to be able to pass on to you guys in these videos, and maybe, who knows, help an upcoming band in areas that they need some assistance with. So as many of you probably already know, President absolutely exploded onto the UK metal scene last summer 2025 with a debut show at Download Festival. Now, President market themselves as an anonymous band with everyone's identity hidden. They wear masks and costumes on stage. And even though it's absolutely obvious to all of us who is behind the mask, because with a voice like that, there's absolutely no mask that can hide it because it's such a unique voice. But putting that aside, although we all know what it created was buzz, it created chat, it created debate, lots and lots of videos online. Is it Charlie? Is it this person? Is it that person? People analysing even his travel on the day, the bracelets he was wearing, the gap in his teeth. The President team, everyone around him, all the market and management team and the band themselves have played an absolute blinder, because all of this hype that it's generated is an absolute masterclass, which, if you're in an upcoming band, is so important to find that thing that creates buzz and hype for your band. Now, I'm not saying you need to put on a costume or a mask and go out on stage anonymously, but you have to find something that creates buzz and hype and a talking point for your band. Now, naturally, there is a lot of people that had an issue with the fact that they skipped a lot of steps, and I totally understand that viewpoint. I understand why that would anger a lot of bands when they're out there grafting, trying to make it. But we have to remember, obviously, given who it is, given his obvious contacts that he would already have, we have to remember that this is someone who's already at that level. And if we were in their shoes, we had their level of contacts, I think we'd all agree that we'd take a slot at Download. But putting all of that aspect aside, it's an absolute marketing masterclass. So here's a few ways that you can take little elements of what President have done so well and utilize them in your band, in your setting. Number one is the obvious one, image. Now again, I'm not telling you to go out in costumes, in masks, although you can if you want to, if that's your thing. Many bands obviously have done that successfully. But what you do have to do is think very, very carefully about your image on stage. Even if you're just starting out, it's so important to look the part on stage. Look like the character that you're personifying when you're playing music. You don't all have to wear matching outfits, but it needs to be coordinated. It needs to be deliberate. If you look like just any other person in the crowd, you're going to merge with all the other people in the crowd and not stand out in people's minds, in people's memories. And it can really make the marketing on social media much, much easier, because someone will always know when it's you that they're looking at on a random feed. So really, really think about image. Have stage outfits that you only wear when you're playing and then you take off again and change back to normal after. That's absolutely fine. That's totally normal. A lot of artists do that. It's really important to think about that in the early days. Plan it out if you must, but make sure, like President, you have a great image that creates buzz, hype and debate. Sometimes even down to the color of guitar that you pick or the way the amps look on stage. Now obviously if you're playing smaller venues and you're not playing headline shows, you're not going to have the opportunity to have big scrims up and whatnot, but really try and make your backline or whatever you're going to use look coordinated, look great, and come up with some kind of theming. Again, it comes back to making sure it's a deliberate, coordinated, planned image. Outfits, stage layout, everything. Number 2 is the visuals, the graphics, the marketing. Another thing where President absolutely nailed it is their logo, their visuals, their color scheme. Everything is coordinated, it's well thought out, it's well drawn. They've obviously come up with this symbol, which is very, very memorable and can make a nice tattoo for fans, stickers, all of these kind of things. It doesn't always have to be the band name, remember. If you can come up with even an abstract symbol that sticks and it means something and you stick with it, eventually fans will come to know that symbol and know that it's a part of your image. That can also work for solo acts as well. It's not just exclusive to bands. If you're a solo artist, you can still have an image, a symbol, a logo, but make sure that it's well thought out, that it's well coordinated, and that it's a quality piece of artwork. This is really where you cannot scrimp and use your mate Dave down the road who can do it for £20. Scour the internet, find a really, really good, talented artist that not only draws well, but draws something that fits your image and what you're going for. Obviously, if you hire an artist that does all classical pieces and you're trying to market yourselves as a punk band, that's not going to work. You've got to find one that draws in a style that works for you. Now, obviously, none of this means anything unless the songs are great. Even if your marketing is absolutely top notch and you're reeling people in, if what they then listen when you have got them in is not great, you'll lose them straight away. So obviously goes without saying that the songs have to be great. That's just kind of a prerequisite to anything we're talking about today. Now, obviously with President, the music, the songs are fantastic. They've got the release strategy just right with drip feeding singles in what they call the waterfall release plan. So they've done everything absolutely right. And of course, as they went the anonymous route, it creates that extra level of hype and debate and interest in what they're doing. So those are just a couple of ways how you can utilize some of what President did so well in your own band, in your own setting. Now, obviously, it's not going to get you an instant slot at download, but what it will do is get you noticed and it will get you remembered, get people coming back, get people to engage, get people to be fans. Because without fans, a band is absolutely nothing. Make sure your fans are getting maximum value at all times, not just with the music, but with your image and how you portray yourselves as well. That's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one.